Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We spoke about Hisham ibn As. Today I want to highlight his spectacular brother, subhanAllah, someone that did so much for the deen, subhanAllah, that excelled in every aspect of the life once they embraced Islam. This is Amr ibn As. Amr ibn As was a traveler, a businessman, a spokesman, very clever, very shrewd, subhanAllah. And his story, of course, starts off with his brother torturing his brother Hisham, making it difficult for Hisham ibn As. Eventually, he himself, subhanAllah, is the one that chases the Muslims all the way to Abyssinia. The Quraysh have chosen him to be the person in order for him to bring back all the rebellious group, the Muslims that have gone to Abyssinia. Of course, the whole story of Ja'far radiallahu anhu. Ja'far radiallahu anhu is the one that has a conversation with Najashi, and he says, we've come over here to seek refuge with you because these people are making life very difficult. They're torturing us, Ya Najashi, allow us to be over here. And what happens, this is when Amr ibn As, he makes his way to Najashi, a good friend of his, subhanallah, and of course he buys gifts to blackmail all his ministers. However, Najashi, being a just individual, says, no, I will not accept you taking the Muslims away from this land, because from what they have said, it resonates with me, and I will allow them protection in this land, subhanAllah. This is the first mission that Amr bin As was not successful. He makes his way all the way back to the people of Quraysh. And the beautiful thing is, he was younger than the elders of the Quraysh, and he was slightly older than the youngsters of Quraysh, subhanAllah. So he was in the middle. Very close friends. Of course, you have Amr al-Khattab, you have Ikrimah bin Abu Jahl, Safwan ibn Umayyah, Amr bin As, Ikrimah bin, all these individuals, youngsters, they become the elite of the Muslim empire. But at this moment in time, he was an enemy. It was only during we realized during the Battle of Badr, Battle of Uhud, and Battle of Khandaq, he fought against the Prophet ﷺ to such an extent that the Prophet ﷺ made dua against him, subhanAllah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the verses, لَيْسَ لَكَ مِنَ الْأَمْرِ شَيْءٍ أَن يَتُوبَ عَلَيْهِمْ أَوْ يُعَذِّبَهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ ظَالِمُونَ, that, O Prophet ﷺ, it is not within you, the matter is not with you. It is up to Allah to turn, subhanAllah, to have mercy upon him or to punish him, for indeed they are the wrongdoers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that Amr bin As is going to do something phenomenal. Amr bin As will excel, subhanAllah. We find out that, subhanAllah, Amr bin As eventually, with some of his companions, they make their way all the way to Abyssinia to seek refuge with Najashi. How the tables have turned. And when he gets there, the Prophet ﷺ at that time had sent a companion, subhanAllah, to bring all the Muslims back to Medina. When he gets there, a whole conversation, of course, happens where he has a conversation with Najashi, and Najashi says, what's wrong with you, Ya Amr ibn As? Why is it that you still haven't accepted Islam? Don't you know that the namus that came to Moses is the same namus that came to this Prophet Muhammad? And he says that, oh, you've accepted Islam. He says, yes, I've accepted Islam. Subhanallah, he says, I will only accept Islam on your hand. Subhanallah, Najashi radiallahu anhu, one of the last things that he does, of course, before passing away, is makes Amr ibn As embrace Islam, subhanallah. Amr ibn As makes his way from there, goes all the way back, and lo and behold, he meets two companions, and that's Khalid bin Walid and Uthman bin Talha radiallahu anhuma. And all three of them, they make the way to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They go to the Prophet ﷺ and they embrace Islam. This is their journey that starts. Within a short period, Khalid bin Walid, will speak about him more later on, but Amr ibn As is the one that goes to the expedition of Zatul Salasil, subhanallah. He was ready for war, and when he gets there, subhanallah, he's the leader of the entire Muslim army at that time. Think about it. Amr ibn As, he says, he doesn't even allow them to light a fire because the enemies will realize that the numbers are not high, and therefore they will attack them. To prevent that from happening, he says, no one light a fire, even though it's extremely cold. The companions complain to the Prophet ﷺ and says, Ya Rasulullah, I wanted to make sure that my companions are alive. If they saw us lighting the fire, then they would have realized that our numbers in quantity was very less. We find out that during the time of Umar Khattab, subhanAllah, Amr ibn As and few youngsters, all these young companions, they bring the Romans to the knees. Most of the southern Palestine, subhanAllah, what we realize is with Amr ibn As, and then Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah comes and negotiates with them, and finally Umar Khattab comes and takes the key of Palestine. We see that even after that, Amr ibn As, he sets his eye on Egypt, subhanAllah, with 4,000 companions. This person, subhanAllah, he does something spectacular and conquers entire Egypt. This person passes away, Amr ibn As passes away at the age of 90. Think about it. He says that I had three phases in my life. Number one, subhanallah, and that is the time when I hated the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number two, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam became my beloved. Number three, what happens the time of the fitna when sahabas against sahabas, the things that happen, I've got no idea what's going to happen to me, subhanallah. Think about it. This companion becomes so close to our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His son Abdullah says that I saw my father putting the finger up to the sky, subhanallah, and doing dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is how he passes away. Fall in love with his companions. Phenomenal companions, inshallah. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.